So I know it's 1 in the morning, Friday night, Saturday morning, here in the suburbs of Chicago. But 1 in the morning is like early compared to last night. So we're going to run down day 2 of the Pinball Expo 2014. We got a ton of on-site interviews for you. And it's Coast to Coast Pinball episode 114. Let's go. Welcome to Coast to Coast Pinball. My name is Nate Shivers. This here is a podcast to my man out of quarters with a commentary. I don't know what order that's supposed to go in right now. Doesn't matter. Another excellent long day at Expo. I slept in. I'll just tell you that right now. I couldn't do it. My alarm went off and I just was like, no, that's not happening. Not happening. So I missed some of the early seminars, and that all comes back around, though, because our seminar, the podcasting seminar, is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., and I fully expect everyone to sleep in and miss it, and that's okay. I understand it. So there's just a ton going on. Like, there's so much going on, I can't keep track. Even when I start to think I've caught up and I got it all, I get the, oh yeah, by the way, Highway Pinball, Dennis Nordman, announcing a new game. And I'm like, really? Wow, okay, let's do this. So we got a lot happening. Expo is alive. There's energy. People seem to be like excited. We've not hit terminal velocity. We've not hit the peak. We're still going on the way up. It's fun. It's really fun. Had a good day. So, giving you a brief rundown of Friday at Pinball Expo. The early sessions that I wasn't there for, I will run them down for you. We had Always Respect Other People's Work, Pinball Repair Strategies. That was with Dr. Scott Sheridan and Ron Kuhn Jr. I'm sorry I missed your seminar. I'm sure it was awesome. I'm sorry. At 9 a.m., we had Innovations in Pinball, Moving the Industry Forward with Jerry Stellenberg from Multimorphic. I make it up for you, Jerry, because I interviewed you for this show. So, sorry about that. Jonathan Houston and Paul Rubens did Pinball Magazine, Elevating Pinball to a New Level. That is Jonathan from the Pinball Magazine, and that is Paul Rubens from Pavlov Pinball. I enjoyed both of their work immensely. They do the written word for pinball very, very well. Paul, thank you very much for the t-shirt. I will wear it with pride. Jonathan, it's been good hanging out with you. I'm sorry I missed your session. Please miss mine tomorrow. I'm sorry. Also, I missed the convert a big shot to a solid state machine, how Mission Pinball Framework was used to convert that. Brian Madden and Gabe Nuth, I believe. I don't know you gentlemen. I'm sure you're really nice guys, and your mothers should be proud of you. And I'm sure you had a great seminar. I'm sorry I missed it. Gil Pollack did My Days at Gottlieb, Milestar, and Premier Technology. I would have liked to have heard that, really. I would have, but I was asleep. I'm sorry. Aaron Davis and Dave Beecher, former guests here on Coast to Coast Pinball with Fast Pinball. I haven't actually even said hi to these guys. I don't know where they are. I think they're like right near where I've been hanging out in the vendor room. I'll find them tomorrow and I'll say hello. We'll get them on the show. They did Jumpstart Your Custom Pinball with Fast Pinball. So I'm sure it was awesome. In fact, I know it was awesome. I missed Todd Tuckey of I believe TNT Amusements. Is that his company, Todd Tuckey? If you don't know Todd Tuckey, please look him up. Go to YouTube. Be enthralled with Todd Tuckey. Pinball marketing yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I'm sure he taught us great stuff about pinball marketing yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I watch his videos. Like when I had to go welcome like Genesis to the D list, I went and listened to Todd Tuckey talk about Genesis because he did it with such enthusiasm. So I got there around noon, and noon felt like about 6 a.m. to me. I was tired. But got there just in time, and I heard some of David Thiel's speech on the other sound guy. It was good. It was interesting. I liked it. But really, I think what a lot of people were starting to wait for was Planetary Pinball at 1 o'clock. What was coming from Planetary Pinball? There are ads in the Pinball Expo 2014 souvenir guidebook from, let me get this right. I don't want to misquote this. I'm trying to flip to them right now. My voice is trying to go out on me. From ministryofpinball.com. So Ministry of Pinball, they are the official master distributor for Planetary Pinball Supply Games. They ran 2 ads in this guide handbook. One of them is based on Attack from Mars, and one of them seems to be pointing on the fact that it's based from Monster Bash. One says, it's alive almost. Ministryofpinball.com. This led everyone to speculate that Planetary Pinball Supply would be announcing Attack from Mars and or Monster Bash as remakes at this expo. That did not happen. I was kind of told early on that was not going to happen, and then somebody else told me that was happening, so I was just a confused podcast host. I didn't know. So I sat right in front, and I watched Rick not do that. Rick gave a nice presentation. It was fairly quick. He only had 30 minutes. He went through it. He kind of went through the recap of where they started the year, where they're at for the year, and where they want to be. He admitted, yes, Medieval Madness Remake is certainly a little delayed. Right now they're having some UL approval issues, which I've dealt with that in a former job that I worked in, and I know what that's like. But he assured everyone that they are more stressed out about it than we are, and that they're working on it, and soon enough, Medieval Madness will be done and shipping. And he looked to dispel the rumors that it's some crazy conspiracy, that there will be no Medieval Madnesses made and it's all fake. Does anybody really believe that? Like, does anybody who's like above the age of like 14 really believe that they took in like $8 to $10 million in money from consumer base and they're just not going to build the game? Like, come on, folks. We were at Stern the other day. We saw the games being made. They're making Medieval Madness. They have some games there. Don't worry, they're making it. But they did not announce Attack from Mars or Monster Bash. I would think it's a safe bet to go ahead and say Attack from Mars is coming next. I get the vibe that they would rather just wait till Medieval Madness is, actually shipping and then show you Attack from Mars remake. I mean, that's totally my guess. So, nonetheless, it was good to hear Rick's sort of strategy on what they're doing with the Williams and Bally licenses, and I can sense a little bit of his frustration. People accuse them of this and accuse them of that. They just don't know. And somebody even said, a crowd member asked a question, is it true there's a rumor going around that you'll never make the party zone ramps? And Rick was just kind of like, well, where are you getting that? Why would I never make the party zone ramps? And he basically said, if you hear anybody saying that I'll never do something, it's a good bet that that's not a good rumor. So for all of those folks out there looking for party zone ramps, keep hope alive, friends. Keep hope alive. So that was cool. Let's see. Moving on after Planetary Pinball, Rob Craig talked about how pinball collectors changed the world. He did a touching and dedicated a moment and an applause break to his friend at the Silver Ball podcast, Steve Rothschild, who we lost this year. That was touching. It was good to hear Rob Craig talk about really kind of a positive talk, how the collectors are the ones driving this. I liked it. It was good stuff. Then Mr. Pat Lawler came in and did a talk, and I was excited to see what he would have to say concerning his current role at Jersey Jack with the new design, what's going on. He touched on it briefly, didn't tip his hand very much at all, seems excited about it. It was good to see him. He seemed really happy, and I don't know Pat Lawler at all, zero. I haven't even said hi to him yet. I just kept missing him at Expo so far, but he seemed really enthused and happy to be there. He went into a long presentation and discussion with a slideshow on the design and the creation of Bonsai Run, which was how he sort of broke himself into pinball, and that was cool. I'd heard some of it before, I believe, on a podcast, maybe, probably on Clay Harrell's podcast. So I listened, but I did step out finally towards the end because I did know most of the story. It's a great story, very interesting how that game came about. After that, I kind of stepped out of most of the seminars for most of the day because I had games to play, I had things I wanted to see, and I had people to talk to. And some other things that happened throughout the day, I guess the highlight for the rest of that day would be Highway Pinball announcing that they are building a limited run 500 of Dennis Nordman designed Aliens pinball machines. Licensed, based on the movie Alien and Aliens, which is that's pretty big news. The game's going to officially be called, I believe, Alien Pinball 35th Anniversary. So it's 35 years since the original Alien movie. I'm 35 years old. That came out when I was born. Great theme. Fantastic theme. Almost kind of crazy. It's one of those themes you're like, oh, yeah, they never made an Alien pinball machine. I mean, they made sort of an Alien pinball machine, right? They made Space Invader, which was a takeoff of Alien, obviously, but never a true Alien dedicated pinball machine. Dennis Nordman designing it, a licensed theme that I think has tons of legs, so to speak, for pinball. This is a very, very good move by Highway Pinball. I think this is smart. I think this is the thing they needed. I have not gotten to play Full Throttle yet. Full Throttle is here at Expo, and I will play it tomorrow. I hope to grab Andrew Highway and actually talk to him. But it's gotten really positive reviews. A lot of people I talked to said they liked it. I thought this theme was death from the beginning. A motorcycle racing game, not good. Everyone, I think I mentioned this with an interview with Gene X Wong later on in this show, and Josh Sharp and I were talking about this earlier. Everybody thinks they want an original theme. Do they? Do they really want an original theme? Do you guys really want original themes? You all say you do, but I think what you mean is you all want the exact right original theme for you, right? Isn't that what it really is? I mean, that's part of why I'm buying America's Most Haunted, because that's a really good original theme for me. Some people may not like it. I think that if you're a startup company and you're trying to first show you can even build a good pinball machine, the theme needs to play to a lot of people, and I think using a movie like Alien, like Skip B did with Predator, and like Dutch Pinball's doing with The Big Lebowski, do something that's going to sell it based on theme also. I think it's a great move. So, whereas Full Throttle, I bet doesn't sell 100 units in the U.S. I'm sorry, and that's just totally guessing. I can't see it selling 100 units, maybe 100. They're going to sell 500 Aliens. I have no doubt in my mind. So, fantastic. Good for them. I hope to talk to them. That was sort of the big announcement today. Gary Stern gave his speech. Obviously the announcement that Stern is going to build Whiz-Bang's Whoa Nelly Big Juicy Melons kind of came out of left field. So Dennis Nordman has 2 games coming into production. Dennis Nordman, who's sort of been one of the odd men out of the big old guard of pinball designers, is suddenly like right in the spotlight with games coming from 2 different manufacturers here in 2015 coming up. So that's pretty cool. The fact that Stern's going to build this game that's very stripped down and very old school, that kind of makes you start wondering out loud, well, would they build something else like that? What's the price point going to be on this? What's possible at Stern? Could you do something else? With Vault Editions and stuff, I think Gene X Wong and I talk about that. So, really exciting time here at Expo. The tournaments are packed. There's lines all day and night. When I left tonight, after midnight, there were still people just hammering away on these tournaments. I've stayed away from the modern tournament myself because it's just deadly looking. I have scores in on all the classics games. We should actually look that up here. I'm going to pause this, find that, and we'll tell you. Hold on. All right, so here's where we are. Friday night. There have been 98 people put at least one game in the classics division. I'm currently sitting 64th. That's bottom third. Gene X Wong is at 59th, so it's going to be my personal goal in life is to pass Gene tomorrow. Hopefully he doesn't hear this and he won't try very hard. Steve Epstein's at 55th. That's in reach for me. Daniel Kleiss, programmer at Stern Pinballs, at 57th. I could catch him. Who else? Roger Sharp, 49th. He has the 5th highest score on Firepower though, and then kind of mediocre scores on the other 3 games. You got to play all 4 games, and the games are Firepower, Skateball, Strikes and Spares, and Harlem Globetrotters. Currently, number 1 is Sean Grant, Bob Matthews, Keely George, Fred Richardson, Trent Augustine, Brian Dyes, Roy Wills, Joshua Henderson. So, pretty big names there on the classics. Qualifiers, top 16 qualify. Let's take a little look over at the A division in the modern side. Daniel Asiari, number 1 right now. Jorian Engelbrechtston, I think that's right. Joshua Henderson, Adam Lefkoff, Bone Cairns, Chris Basler. Looking for my man Escher. Where is Escher right now? Scrolling down. Is Escher going to make the cut? Right now, Escher has not made the cut. Where are you, Escher? 31st. Actually, he would make the cut. He's 2 off the cut, above the cut line. So, very cool. Stern had a tournament tonight. They did a Walking Dead tournament. Escher Lefkoff won the tournament. Won the prize money. Won the trophy. So good for him. We're gonna have Adam and Escher on tomorrow for sure. So, I'm exhausted, and luckily I did my due diligence today, and I got my interviews recorded. So. I'm going to sign off here and play you a bunch of interviews from the floor. You're going to hear Jersey Jack. You're going to hear Jerry Stellenberg. You're going to hear Scott Gullix. You're going to hear a dude that made a Buffy the Vampire Slayer pinball machine. You're going to hear from Paul from Circus Maximus, Gene X Wong. Who else? I'm forgetting someone. Josh Sharp comes on for a minute. So you're going to hear a bunch of cool things and kind of give you a little look into the life of an evening at Expo tonight. I hope you enjoy it. My inbox is full of email. My Facebook's blown up. I haven't really been able to check a lot of it. I'll get to it all eventually. I hope you guys are enjoying what we're doing here, and you're getting to kind of have a look in here at Expo. I have a panel to be on at 9 a.m., so I got to get going. I got to get some sleep. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy these interviews. All right, here, Expo 2014, standing at the in front of the Wrath of Olympus machine, the Riot Pinball. I won't call it a booth, but the display of Riot Pinball with Scott Gulick. How are you, Scott?
I'm doing very well. Good to see you, Nate.
Good to see you again, man. So, congratulations. The game's like up and running. It's flipping. It's playing. People are going through the modes. It all seems to be looking really like you want it to, right?
Yeah, I'm really happy with the performance. Yesterday we had a great outing. We played the game up for 6 straight hours, and there was only one time we had to deal with an issue. So we're really excited about it. It's running really well.
So, Wrath of Olympus, we did a show, a year ago or 8 months ago or 10 months, I don't even know when that was. But we did a show, and it was sort of the early days of, I built this virtual pinball table, maybe I'm going to build a real table. I think that's how we left it, is like, yeah, we'll see, maybe we'll build it. And now here we are, not that far away, and you have a real pinball machine here ready to be pre-ordered.
Yeah, that's right. About 2.5 years ago, I started doing the design for the virtual table, but the entire time I had it in my mind that I was thinking about trying to make this a reality. So as doing the design work, I kept that in my mind so that shots, flippers, coils, all the assemblies could ideally be made into a real game. And it was about a year ago, January, when we started building the first prototype. And we brought that to Expo last year. And now we've got a second prototype with a bunch of upgrades, cleaned up some of the shots, really listened to a lot of the feedback we were getting at Expo to make the game as good as we can. And since then, we've been doing a lot of updating with the software, and then talking to manufacturers like Spooky Pinball, who have now said they're comfortable with manufacturing the game for us.
So yeah, let's lay that out for the show, because I think I've only briefly touched on it in other episodes. You're going to do a pre-order of at least 100. You need 100 for you guys to go into production, and a maximum of 250. So it is a limited run of this game, no matter what. And it's $1,000 to get in, and then a stepped-up payment until the game finally ships, right?
That is correct. So our plan is we need 100 orders in order to make this profitable for both Spooky and myself. We have until January for people interested in getting in on the buy. The machine is $7,950. You send a PayPal or a check to Riot Pinball for $1,000, that holds your spot. In January, we're going to be making a decision if we reach that 100 or not. For sure, we're not going to build more than 250. There aren't going to be some special LE editions down the road. We're going to cap at 250.
So, let me ask you this. How confident are you standing here at Expo in October that you're going to get that 100?
I'm feeling very confident.
That's what I thought. I thought you were going to say that.
Part of what I was doing to my dedicated Wooly followers was I sent out a note 2 weeks before Expo to get some interest up through them. We got a lot of pre-orders in from them. Since yesterday, we got another couple dozen in. So we're sitting very good, but we still have ways to go to get to hundreds.
So there's a lot of games out now. Think about 2 years ago. There weren't. So if you'd launched this 2 years ago, you could have sold all you wanted, right? Because the market was pretty bare. And now look at what we're standing in the middle of.
That's exactly it. Tomorrow I'm giving a presentation on how people can build their own pinball machines. And
you want to just be like, you can't stop.
No, I love pinball, and this is a hobby. The more people that do it, the better.
Absolutely.
But to your point, when I started this hobby, I had the option of a new in-box stern or a new in-box stern.
Exactly.
Jersey Jack was just getting on, and since then we've got over a dozen different manufacturers. In the next year, anybody can buy probably up to 20 different new in-box games. So it's a little bit of bad timing, but it is what it is.
So I've been a pretty big proponent of your design from the very beginning, not just the artwork, but just the layout and everything. How about you sell me? Why? I've got $8,000. I've got $8,000. Why do I buy your machine?
You buy my machine if you really like good pinball. If you like good flow, fast-moving shots, if you like hand-drawn original artwork, if you love Greek gods, buy my machine. We're priced competitively with Stern, Jersey Jack. In my opinion, we're offering all the same features that they have. On top of it all, we're offering a limited edition 250 pins. So if you like pinball and you like collecting pinball, this is the game to get.
Fantastic. So let me ask you this. What happens if you don't get 100? What do you do?
It's quite simple, and that's what I stressed in the email I sent out to the Wooly interested list, and that's what I posted online. It's really no risk. If you put your $1,000 in because you really want one, in January, if we don't reach 100, everybody gets their money back.
What are you going to do if you don't reach 100?
If I don't reach 100, I'll probably finally spend a little more time with my wife and son.
Oh, I see. Let's say you sell all 250. What's next for Riot Pinball?
If I sell out 250, we'll start another game for sure.
Do you already have a design in mind?
We've got a couple.
Very cool. Very cool. Game is playing great. I think you've got a really nice rule set. I like the fact that so you start modes on your game, I noticed, by hitting the stand-up, kind of the in-between shot targets, the small little, I call them like, what's the right word? I usually use them as like my miss shots.
Sure.
But that's like how you start your modes.
Right, and that's a good question. Last year at Expo, if you hit the mode start vertical up kicker, it started the mode immediately. We have software in place now where whoever buys the game will be able to adjust that from either no stand-up targets, so you can start the mode immediately, or to what we have at Expo today to make it a little more challenging where you have to hit 2 of them, to my Rockstar programmer, Frank Gelati, has it on his prototype at home, is you got to hit all 5.
Hit all of them. I know who's going to set it to only, do the vertical up kicker. It's the same people that put their game on 5 balls.
Yes.
It will be those guys.
That's been a kind of a neat experience. Everybody plays pinball different, and everybody has a different idea of what their game should do. And, my home collection, they're all on 3. They're almost all stock. I want to learn, but, some people really want to get deep, and we're going to be able to offer that to our customers.
So let's step away from your game for just a touch. Have you gotten a chance to look at what The Hobbit looks like, look at Walking Dead now? I mean, we're surrounded by The Walking Dead. How could you not? What do you think of what you've seen at this year's Expo so far?
It's all amazing. It's all top-notch. The Hobbit is absolutely beautiful. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. The Big Lebowski, those guys knocked that out of the park.
Yep.
Again, I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but it looks fantastic. The P3 is being so innovative, and I think it looks great, and I think the artwork is phenomenal.
Do you think, and I'm going to jump on a P3 for just a second,
okay.
Do you think if you're an independent builder right now, is there a reason not to use a P3 in your game?
You mean more appropriate the P-Rock?
I'm sorry, yes, excuse me. The multimorphic P-Rock platform, P3 is using that. Yeah, I'm just confused. I'm tired.
That's okay.
Excuse me. Sorry, Jerry.
It's, in my opinion, no. The forum for the pinballcontrollers.com is so extensive, and the amount of people that are doing their own projects and offering up help is just incredible. The fast pinball, the mission pinball framework, I don't know enough about that. That's really more Frank's style, but from my opinion, the P-Rock has been out for 5 years or something like that. It's been proven. It's robust. It's working well. There's no reason I would ever switch from the P-Rock for that reason. It's commercially available. A lot of these other systems are still up and coming. Who knows how well they're going to work from a robust reliability perspective until time tells. And to me, it's really more about the network of people that can help you out. And for us, it was a no-brainer to go with P-Rock for that reason.
So how good does this feel, watching all these people walk up to your game and actually get to play a game?
It's amazing. When we brought it out last year, I was just on Cloud 9, and having the second prototype with these gorgeous playfields that Spooky Pinball made for us.
They look awesome.
Oh, and they're so smooth. It feels incredible.
It's like a real pinball machine or something, right?
It is. I think of the few times, last year Expo, this year Expo, and even when Frank Gelati said he'd help me out and do the code, those are the 3 proudest times of my Wooly experience so far.
That's fantastic. Well, Scott, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you get well past 100, and I hope you sell all 250 of them. I know there's somebody who I live with, a female, who's like, hey, buy the Greek God one. I'm broke, so we're thinking about things, but congratulations, and I hope to get talk to you again soon. Hope to be looking at your next game here next year.
Great. Thank you very much, Nate. And if anybody wants to get a hold of me and ask me questions or would love to put a deposit down on Wooly, they can contact me at scott@riotpinball.com.
Or go right through me, and I'll just take my cut and send all the rest right to you.
There
No
you go.
problem, right? I
Sounds
kid. Thanks, Scott. All right, here we are, Chicago Expo, and I'm standing in front of a Buffy the Vampire Slayer pinball machine, and I'm with David Nelson, who designed said Buffy the Vampire Slayer pinball machine. David, I have to ask you, big Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah, a little obsessive there?
Yeah, definitely. Big time.
So you're here, and obviously this is a P-Rock-powered custom game based on what?
Based on Buffy?
Buffy? Okay, no, I'm sorry. This game, you didn't build this ground up.
I'm
You
sorry, yeah,
took a game and you turned it into...
It's from a Swords of Fury. It started off as a Williams Swords of Fury.
So, why?
Why did I do the custom build? I actually always wanted a Buffy-themed pinball machine, and
they weren't going to make one for you, were they?
definitely weren't. So I decided to try to take the plunge and do it myself. Looked into this P-Rock stuff and decided to give it a shot.
All right, my listeners know me and know that I'm a klutz and don't know sort of this world. How do you even get started to designing your own rule set game and do all this programming? I don't understand, man.
Yeah, it actually snowballed on me. When I first started this, I just wanted to take the game, change the art, maybe add some different sounds to a couple of switches, and then be done with it.
But now you have like an LCD display and you have a full-on translite and artwork and Buffy and the whole thing.
Yeah, it started off as something small, and then as you get into it, you're like, oh, I can add this, or I can do this, and it just snowballed, and it turned into...
When did you start the project?
It's been just under 2 years to get to this point right here. So,
I love your lock box and the door and all the wood. Where did you get that idea, and how'd you do that?
I came up with that. It's actually a process called hydroprinting. You actually take a printed material that looks like whatever. This is actually wood grain. You dip it in water and you spray it with this activator, and it turns to liquid. And you dip the part, and then that print transfers onto the part.
Really? That's fantastic. So what's your goal here? Is this just purely for the fun of it?
Purely for the fun of it.
That's refreshing, because like I said to you before, there's all these capitalists around us trying to sell us something. You're just trying to show us something.
Yes, definitely. It's
So can I buy your machine?
absolutely not.
No? For no price whatsoever?
No. I might be persuaded into making a second one.
I'll let my listeners know that. Well, David, thank you for coming on Coast to Coast Pinball. I really appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Yep. Thank you.
Here we are at Chicago Pinball Expo, which is only the Pinball Expo, as Rob Burke keeps reminding me. It is not the Chicago Pinball Expo, it is the Pinball Expo 2014. Here on the floor, in the vendor room, at the P3, the Multimorphic booth, the Lexi Lightspeed booth, with Mr. Jerry Stellenberg. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Nate. How are you?
It's good to see you again. It's been about 6 months since we did this, right?
CPF was in March, so yes.
That was in March. 6-7 months. So I got to come in and play the game again. It seems like things play a little bit smoother, like things are happening a little more like they're supposed to. Where are we at with Lexi Lightspeed and the P3 platform right now? Where are we standing today?
Today we're about 80% done on the game. The software is pretty far along. It needs another mode and then the finale.
Still a lot going on though. Like we were starting multi-balls. We were getting into the different areas, the swamp and the warehouse. I beat Josh Sharp. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that. Very impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you. So somebody else did witness it. It happened.
And he took a picture of it, I saw.
I don't know why he took a picture. Maybe that's like motivation for the rest of his life to do better. I don't know.
I lost to Nate.
I know. Pretty sad.
So yeah, the game's pretty far along. 80% is pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? We have 5 of our 6 modes developed. We have the multi-ball, we have alien attacks, we have spotlight multi-ball, we have a lot of cool stuff. What we need to do is develop one more mode, develop the finale, and then just add more polish to it. So you have this LCD that does so much stuff, and we can do so many things with it. We can show instructions, and we can have things pop up. Right now we started to add score pop-ups that come out on the LCD exactly where the ball hit a target to make that score.
Love it. That's
so
great feedback.
Exactly where you shot to result in a score.
Excellent. So this is still the metal heavy cabinet that we're playing it in, but I see you have a cabinet over there. That's a wood box, right?
Yes, so this is our early prototype cabinet, which was metal because we wanted to make sure our magnetic decal idea worked.
Yeah.
It's too heavy.
It's heavy. It's hard to move around. Yeah.
So for production, we're going to go with more of a standard wooden cabinet. It's a traditional weight. It's got a little bit more lightweight legs, so it's much more easier to manipulate to to nudge and to try to get the ball to do what you want it to do.
So I just talked to Scott Gullex with Riot Pinball, which Wrath of Olympus, based on using your board, using the P3 and P-Rock. Excuse me, I've done that like all day long. Too many letters and numbers, Jerry. Sorry. Using the P-Rock. I just played a Buffy the Vampire Slayer pinball machine using the P-Rock. There are other games in this room using the P-Rock. Where's P-Rock at right now? It seems like P-Rock has sort of reached its I feel like it's fully developed and out there, and people are now using it. I wouldn't say it's sort of the standard. If I'm going to go do a new pinball machine from scratch, the P-Rock's really the thing to grab off the shelf and buy from you to have a starting point. Would you say that's kind of become the case?
Yes, and I think we started the P-Rock 5 years ago.
It's been a while, yeah.
The P-Rock's been out there for 5 years. We've had companies building products with the P-Rock for about 3 years. We have a community of developers who are building machines, and they get on our forums and they support each other and they answer each other's questions. And if someone wants to know, how do I build a machine and do this or that, or how do I do a mode that operates the drop targets in a certain fashion, we have other people that can help them. So we have this critical mass with the board's maturity, the software framework's maturity, and the community support that everyone adds to it to create this ecosystem.
That's what I was trying to say. There you go. You know what I'm saying.
This ecosystem has developed, and it's you wouldn't want to go somewhere else that doesn't have this ecosystem, because then you have to do everything yourself.
You're seeing companies of varying sizes use your product. What are some, and we don't have to get into any of the deep sides of that, but what are some of the things you're running into as far as your board versus maybe other options out there, or people maybe sort of liking your board but trying their own things? How's that been for you as someone who puts so much work and labor and money and time into the P-Rock, to then see this sort of fragmenting happen out there when you're like, hey, I've got the solution, it's right here?
It was interesting. I feel like we were a big part of this resurgence in pinball, because we gave people a technology they could use to go build games, to breathe new life into their old games. I'm a proponent of competition. Competition in the industry is very good.
Sure.
I feel like we are the go-to product just because we've been around for so long. We have the ecosystem, but we're also an expensive product. It's expensive to buy these boards and go build a machine around
So
them.
if I want to buy a P-Rock, what's it cost me?
The P-Rock is $330.
Okay.
So if you stick a P-Rock in a traditional game to replace the CPU board, that's all you spend.
And that's not that expensive, really, at that point.
That's not that bad. If you want to build a custom game...
And I'm going to build 300 of them, $330 is expensive, is what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying to build a custom game with a P-Rock plus our driver boards.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Then it adds up. We developed the P-Rock system specifically like it is, to be modular, to be adaptable, so that people can add as many boards as they need to drive the number of components that they have in their game. For people that want to rebuild a traditional style game with only 32 coils and with less than 64 switches, then the old system makes more financial sense. But if they want to build a game, well, let me step back, because we developed a system that can work for, different companies and different people, and they all have different goals for their games. So a one-size-fits-all board design doesn't work for a large variety of customers.
Gotcha.
That's where the P-Rock has the advantage. It can be used in many different ways, in many different board configurations. You can piece together a system out of our boards and do exactly what you want to do in your game.
What's the biggest system you've seen so far with the most things running off of P-Rock?
The truth is our P3 has more things than any other machine. The fixture you see behind you is our wall and scoop mechanism, and it's got literally 24 coil circuits running in that small area.
Wow, that's amazing.
12 dual wound coils, for one for each of those walls and scoops. So we have about, in the full P3, we have about 40 coil circuits, and I don't think I've seen anyone else do anything near that.
That's a lot. So where are you at as far as people wanting to buy into the P3 and the Lexi Lightspeed combo purchase with I'm sorry, refresh my memory on the name of the second game.
Cosmic Kart Racing.
Cosmic Kart Racing. Have we seen Cosmic Kart Racing in action? No.
At one point we started to develop them both in parallel, And the problem with this machine, because it's so unique and it's so different, people need to see a completed game before they really understand what it is and where we're going with it and the long-term vision. So to do 2 games in parallel means it's going to take longer to get either one of those games to the point where people can understand it.
So right now, if people are buying in, they're buying Lexi Lightspeed.
We're still offering a 2-for-1, a 2-game for 1 price purchase.
Gotcha. They may be waiting a little bit on the second game.
Right, so we'll deliver them Lexi first, and then when CCR's done, we'll ship it to them for free.
Perfect. I've met your team here. What role are you playing day to day with Multimorphic? Like, what's happening every day with you and your office, and like, what are your days like right now?
Sure. So we have a big team of people. We have 10 people in the team. A lot of them work in different states, actually different countries. One of the guys from New Zealand, our software guy. We have our artist is in California. We're based in Austin, Texas. So yes, I have to manage and coordinate all these resources, but because it's basically my company and I'm responsible for making things happen, I'm the guy who gets to do everything no one else is doing. So sometimes that's software development, sometimes it's testing, sometimes it's dealing with suppliers and working out relationships with manufacturing sites. And it's just, I get to do everything. Whatever has to happen is on me.
Where do you plan on building this thing?
We're building it in Austin, Texas. We have relationships with contract manufacturers. In fact, it's interesting to me to see other companies start to use Stern Pinball to build their games. Stern is acting as a contract manufacturer.
Yep.
Stern has a lot of experience building traditional style games. We're building a game that's not traditional style.
Oh.
So we can go to any contract manufacturer, give them our specs, give them instructions, and say, listen, you can build these sub-assemblies this way, and then once you have the sub-assemblies ready, you can build the complete machine this way. Here's a set of instructions for testing it, and here's how we want to ship it.
And that's really no different from what Chicago Coin and Medieval Madness is probably doing with Stern. They're showing them how to do a sub-assembly and then how to get the whole game together.
Right, that's exactly right. But every single component in ours, for example, a wiring harness. A traditional wiring harness has lots of different taps in it. It's very complicated, and Stern's very good at making those. We don't have complicated wiring harness. Every wire in the machine is a point-to-point wire. So we can go to any shop who's good at making wires and say, listen, we need 100 3-foot cables that each have 5 pins on each end, and that's all we need. So no complicated manufacturing techniques like that.
How's this expo looking to you right now? This is like, I think we're at like a new level of independent companies bringing products to the show. What's it like now for you?
I counted. There are 23 machines here with P-Rocks in them.
Wow.
There are 8 companies here promising or talking about or showing machines with P-Rocks in them. Last year we had 12 machines with P-Rocks, so we've grown significantly just from last year. And it's very rewarding, of course, for me to see it. But yeah, it's fantastic to see the activity in the industry right now.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you spending some time with me, and we'll keep in touch, and we'll keep watching it as it comes along.
Thank you, Nate. Always happy to talk.
Thanks, man. All right, we're out in the tournament area at Expo, and I'm with Josh Sharp, who's now on the show for the 4th time, maybe.
Is that 4th time?
Papa, you were on the show at Papa.
4th time.
4th time on Coast2Coast Pinball. Awesome.
I'm like Susan Lucci with Emmy nominations.
You're just one of the few people that'll talk to me. That's all it really means.
Right.
So we're here, and you've got all these TV people around this Walking Dead machine.
Crazy, right?
Your brother's acting all triumphant after he just knocked you out of this tournament. Tell me what's happening here. Please set the stage.
So I've heard of dueling banjos. We have dueling pinball production companies going on right now. So Zach is currently being interviewed by HBO's Vice, who's doing a little mini doc on the legalization of pinball in Oakland. And like pinball is so interesting, that story has now developed into a bigger pinball piece for them. They're sort of falling into the rabbit hole, like we all have
So
over
they're
the
going
course
to be
of our
like
lives.
pre-ordering games soon?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I think
nice.
the girl manager has a Lebowski on order, and the cameraman's getting a Walking Dead.
I believe that. No.
And then the tournament that's running, there's IMG Productions, who is hosting. They seeded a pot with $1,000, and they invited the top 250 ranked players in attendance to play. And they're putting together a sizzle reel to try to pitch a World Series of Pinball event that will be like a high-class event with the world's greatest players for really big sponsored prize money.
So who's in the finals of this tournament?
It is Zach Sharp. It is Bowen Cairns, Chris Tabaka, and Adam. Nope, not Adam Lefkoff. Who's that kid that's better than his dad? Asher Lefkoff.
Yes, Asher Lefkoff. So they're going to play in the finals for this money that's been seeded. That's pretty amazing. Speaking of Escher Lefkoff, did he just win something?
He just won the launch party that was going on down the hall.
That's the Walking Dead Stern launch party.
So he's up about $200 on that. He's got at least $100 here. By the time he goes to college, that's going to pay for 1 credit of school, probably.
This kid.
It's the future.
He came back from way down on his last ball in there, didn't he?
He did.
Man, okay, so we're trying to get a TV show made, huh?
You're actually on a TV show right now.
Yeah, they're filming us as if we're doing some really important stuff here with the podcasting.
For real.
It's just because you're good looking.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. How's the expo been for you? You've been to a lot of these.
It's been good. It's thank you for dragging me into the hall, so I'm not stuck here as a tournament rat all day.
Yeah, they do things other than tournaments at these shows.
I did. It's you walking in there and seeing a line of 800 people waiting to play Hobbit, waiting to play P3, and waiting to play, Big Lebowski. It's the vibe in there is, I think, hopeful positivity. I don't know, was that the kind of vibe you were getting?
I think people want to spend money. I think people want to play games and spend their money and take home something interesting.
I feel like there's a lot of that, and I keep thinking that the consumer side of this was going to be dead 3 years ago, and the vibe in there felt like there's at least another 3 years in it. I mean,
so 3 years ago, that Big Bang bar that's over there in the hallway would have been 20 deep, right?
Right, and you walk by it, it's empty.
Nobody's playing
every time.
It's not interesting now. Everyone wants, what's new? What's happening?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. That's a perfect example of that. They bring that game here every year, and it's $1 a play, and people huddled around, and I've never gotten a chance to play it. And oh my god, blah blah blah. And man, there's so much new stuff that it just renders it sort of not really worried about it anymore. That game came out 20 years ago.
Amazing. Cool. Well, thank you for the rundown on that. How are you doing in the tournament here, on the Sternament, as it's been called?
I think I might be 11th at the moment, but that was
16 qualifiers or 24?
32.
32.
So,
still don't have a chance here, but good.
In classics, you got it?
No, I don't.
Practice some more Skylab, you'll be all right.
Man, I tried. This morning I was 34th.
All right.
Out of 61. I was really happy with that.
That's all right.
I'm sure it's way down now.
Play more tomorrow, or are you done?
I'll probably play more tomorrow. I actually have tickets, so I have to play more tomorrow.
Get that $100 in total, see how it goes?
That's the goal. Yeah, so good. Well, thank you.
No problem.
We may have more later.
I hope we will have much more, much later.
Excellent. Thank you, Josh. All right, we are here in front of the Hobbit, and I'm with Jersey Jack, the man, the myth, the legend himself. How are you doing, sir?
I'm great, Nate. How are you?
I'm exhausted, but in a good way.
Yeah. Well, listen, this is not a vacation where you're laying on the beach. This is a fun event. High energy. A lot of energy.
It's like war with all the best people in the world.
Okay, I can see that.
It's fun, but it beats you up a little bit.
Yep.
So we're looking at the Hobbit.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, it's a beautiful machine. It's different looking.
Yes.
I think we're seeing something new. There's a definite contrast next to the Wizard of Oz right there.
Yeah, they look great together, but you could obviously tell the gameplay is a lot different. There are a lot of different features and toys on the Hobbit. We have a unique patent-pending target system on there.
That's with the individual drops?
Yes,
yeah.
It's amazing. The mode-based play that Keith and Ted are doing in the game, it's going to be phenomenal.
Is it okay that I'm a little scared of Smaug?
Well, he's kind of a villainous, scary character.
And you have to say it's Smaug, right?
Smaug.
You can't.
Smaug the Terrible.
Very good, very good. So, if you could think of any one lesson you learned through the Wizard of Oz that now you're getting to apply every day on the Hobbit, what would that maybe be?
Well, there are a lot of lessons. But what we've done is we've tried to stay true to the vision of the company, where one of my favorite sayings is from Ralph Waldo Emerson, do not go where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. And really, to do what's been done before is really not exciting to us. We want to do things and continue to innovate. We don't want to make things that have been made. Pinball, you're going to borrow things from other pinball machines, certainly. But really, if you continue to make new, innovative, inventive, and fun things, you're going to have really great games.
So, I see you, at times, jump right into the fray that is Pinside.
Oh, okay.
I'll see you pop right in there and respond. Is that out of just... Because I do it, too. Some people come at my podcast sometimes and say, oh, your opinions are terrible. And it's hard not to. What's your take on that? Do you wake up and just go, I'm going to respond to that right now?
No, not really. Just because I own a pinball company doesn't mean I'm entitled to have my opinion. If I express my opinion, I respect other people's opinions. Not everybody needs to love everything. I don't think there needs to be kumbaya. I think you really need to worry if people don't comment on what you're doing. Some of what we've done, it hasn't been perfect. We've tried to learn lessons over the years. I'm going to continue to make mistakes. I'm human. We'll try to make smaller mistakes. Try not to piss people off. There are always going to be people that love what you do, and there are going to be people that are upset that maybe you're still able to do what you're able to do because, they bet on a different horse or they bet against you. Sometimes you really have to wonder if some of those people actually even like pinball. And, it's an amazing thing. I'm sure if it was the car collecting club or the stamp collecting guys or the sailing club, you have those same characters because they're all human.
Sure.
So, I don't think they mean any harm by it. Some of the same people that give me a lot of crap on there, they're the same people that come to a show and they hug and kiss me and they want a picture with me and my autograph.
Yeah.
So, go figure.
Do you think that's just sort of the price you pay by being so forward in like showing people your design process, seeing things as they go?
Well,
it's the good and the bad of it all.
The hard part of showing somebody how the sausage is made is that it's not done yet. Okay, so with Wizard of Oz, we show it a lot because the customers put us in business. Remember, they bought more than 1,000 games from a company that never built a pinball machine, and they bought a game they never saw. Okay, with The Hobbit, we showed less because, honestly, we needed to show less because we were protecting things that were covered under pending patents, and it's easier to show less and get criticized for a shorter period of time. People didn't like that we hit the witch in Wizard of Oz. They didn't like the ruby slippers. Don't put those on my game. When they saw the game done, everybody got ruby slippers. Everybody understood the modes. Everybody saw what we did. It still didn't mean everybody had to love it. But when these games go on location and they make multiples the amount of money that other games make with static back boxes, and you can't tell if some of these games were made 5 years ago or 50 years ago, they're not relevant to today's audience. Today's audience is kids that play with iPads 2 years old, and they're overstimulated, and you have to give them sensory overload in a game. Okay, they get it from movies, they get it from social media, other things, music. Why shouldn't they get it from a pinball machine?
Agree completely. Okay, how awesome is it to take the stage and have Pat Lawler sitting behind you?
Yeah, like I said, he was a hero of mine from the time I was an operator when I bought his games, and they made money, and those games basically fed my family. So, to have him and John Yowsey and David Thiel and Keith Johnson and Ted Estes and all the great people in the company that's what a pinball company is. It's great to dream a dream. I never had a dream saying, oh, gee, I want to build a pinball company, own a pinball company. I had a picture that was posted on my Facebook, Throwback Thursday, last week, that, I was there in 1978 next to the Lost World, and there was a Bigfoot behind me, and I'm there in a suit, at one of the amusement expos. Bally built 80,000 games that year, and I remember going over to Harry Williams at the show and saying, hi, Mr. Williams, my name is Jack, and I love your games, and I'd like to take a picture with you. And I had people coming over to me saying that to me.
That's great, isn't it?
And it's really something that I'm very blessed. I thank God, and it's really a lot of fun. I've been doing this 39 years. This is my 40th year, and there's been aggravating days, upsetting things that don't go right. But the passion is there. I love what I do every single day.
Absolutely. How many expos have you been to?
Maybe about 10 or 11.
What's it like this year so when you first brought Wizard of Oz, there were not a lot of independently built games from, not Stern, basically.
Right.
Now we look at this room and, man, they're popping up all over the place. There's all this energy. I think it's a good thing for everybody. Rising tides raise all ships.
Yes.
What do you think about that? What's that like to see?
I'd like to see 50 companies building pinball machines because my product stands in a place where we have competition, but the competition for our product is a little different. We're a different kind of company. We're going in a different direction than a lot of other people. We're not basing our games on violence, drug use, things like that. It's more family value kind of games. Pat Lawler plays with crayons that are all primary colors. So you're not going to see blood and guts and death in a Pat Lawler game.
What's that game, by the way?
Oh yeah, I told you what that was.
Oh, that's right.
Before.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I have to.
So, I think it's a great thing. I think in some ways we've empowered other people because maybe some people looked at me and they said, listen, if that moron can build a pinball machine, I'm sure I can build a pinball machine. And, they'll find out what it is to build a pinball machine.
It's hard.
Well, listen, nothing in life worth doing is easy.
Absolutely.
Everything is hard.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's only hard until you master it. And then it becomes your expertise, and then it's not hard anymore. It's not hard for us to build Wizard of Oz anymore. It's really easy, actually, right now. We're experts at building Wizard of Oz, and we'll be experts at building The Hobbit.
That's fantastic. Well, I really appreciate what you guys do for this hobby. I look forward to coming out and seeing the factory. I'm out in the New York area all the time. Love to do it.
Anytime.
Thank you for coming on Coast to Coast
Nate,
Pinball.
thank you, too.
Jack,
It's been
thank
a
you so
pleasure.
much. All right, here at Expo, still, the night moves on. Standing in front of a working, flipping whitewood of Python's Pinball Circus with Paul Kiefert from Circus Maximus. How are you, sir?
About like you, tired.
We're running out here. You've had a busy week, it sounds like. You just told me you've had this game here since Tuesday, getting it up and running so that people could stand in front of it and actually flip the ball and get it up, at least to the second level, to the elephant.
Yeah, the last time we talked to you was at Expo, where all you saw was the populated...
Where were we? We were in Southern Friday Gamer Expo, that's right.
And actually, I don't even know if you saw that because you had to leave early.
I didn't see it. I saw photos of it only. So what's it been like? I mean, has this been like just everything you thought it would be work-wise, more than you thought it would be? What's the experience been like putting this thing together?
It's been, this is about 2 weeks of assembly. 2 months of assembly, I'm sorry. But we didn't even start coding it until about 8 days ago.
What are you finding to be the hurdles? What's been more difficult than you might have expected?
Completely unrelated to this. It's just balancing family and this, to be honest.
Because this isn't your day job, right?
No, this is, and we're trying to move to a new house, and I had to apologize to my wife saying, until Expo, I'm supposed to be working on this, not back in our house. But the beauty of this has been at every turn, when we hit a roadblock, when we were stumped, the answer came out of nowhere. Even today, 4 hours ago, we had not found the body to the elephant. 4 hours ago, an elephant showed up in our booth. The body of the elephant.
Where'd it come from?
I'm not really going to say.
Parts unknown.
Yeah. It came from somebody who's like, after seeing us yesterday, that, wow, I have something that can help.
They knew you were doing the right thing here.
And it was, every step of the way, this has happened. And when we pull our hair out, somehow we pull through it. I mean, if you talked to James and I 6 weeks ago, we still had doubt that we could pull this off ourselves. And now, I mean, what you see here with the side art went on Tuesday. I mean, Charlie from Spooky.
It looks great. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And
there should be prints of that sold, by the way.
Yeah, what this was 2 weeks ago is a lot different than it was now, even.
I believe it.
You know, our next challenge is the wire forms. That's the big hurdle. But it's hard to hear now, but it's got original music playing on it.
I heard it at your talk last night. It was going on.
It's got great. Mark Ritchie. He was the original ringmaster, and it's got those call-outs in it. You know, I talk about how we found the original audio of the call-outs on the website, and that's another example of how stuff is just falling into place.
So, just so the listeners know, this is the 2 month in working whitewood. You want to have this thing is to be operational at the 6 month period, fully all the way through.
So our goal is I'd like to be mechanically complete towards the end of the year here.
Okay.
Early next year.
And then you want to build a run of, I believe, 12?
So we're going to do 12 samples, and the samples will all have something slightly different on them. So one of the things Python wanted, and we talked about it with the snake, is he wanted a pelvic. He had to hump the machine for the snake to come out.
Of course he did.
Yeah, so one of them will have that pelvic button that we're going to try out. One of the other things which we really haven't revealed to most people yet is...
Ooh, exclusives. I like exclusives.
So he wanted to have real pinball legs on this. So we're going to try some short foot, 2 foot. We're going to mess with it so that there's actually going to be short pinball legs on
so it'll look less arcade-like.
Yeah, so, well, and I don't know if you noticed, but we want it to play like a pinball machine. Python wants it to play like a pinball machine. the original sometimes didn't play like a pinball machine.
Understood, yeah.
So we even moved the start button. The start button's now in a traditional pinball start button area. It used to be up in the control panel.
Is there much going on inside the lower part of the cabinet down there? Or is that empty space mainly?
Yeah, right now there's a lot of screws and stuff that we've dropped over
blood,
the last 2
sweat,
months.
tears, all that stuff? Okay, very cool, very cool. Awesome. Well, I really look forward to seeing the updates and seeing this going through. And when we get to that, 12 sample time frame, we should have you back on the show and talk about them and go through them and then look to the future of Pinball Circus.
Yep,
all right, thanks, Paul. Appreciate it, man. All right, Gene, we're trying this again. We tried last night, and I failed miserably. How are you, Gene X. Wong?
I'm great. I'm working on about as much sleep as you had.
Are you still the king of pinball?
No. That's Mark Steinman, actually.
Oh, I thought that was you.
No, I think there was a vote, and he got it. So deservedly, he is the real king of pinball.
I believe that, actually, too. So you and I right now, we're in the presidential suite at the Westin again.
I know.
Deja vu all over again. We tried to go out on the patio, but it's cold out there.
Yeah, we're West Coast.
West Coast kids don't play well in the cold. So, 2 days now of Expo in the books. What do you think?
Oh man, this year is crazy. It seems like there's so much going on. The tournaments, all these seminars, so many new machines play. Did you play some of the new stuff today?
I played the Hobbit. You played the Hobbit? I played the Hobbit.
I did not play the Hobbit. I played Highway. I like that. That was fun.
I haven't played Highway.
That was super fun.
So what did it play like?
It played really well. I mean, there's a ton of different shots. Some interesting type shots that I haven't seen before, like a little kind of short inner loop that just feeds back really fast. It kind of, startles you the first time. But very cool shots. I mean, it played really fast, and it seemed pretty complete. I kept doing the thing where the score is on the screen, but I'd look up, and there's no score up there, and it kept confusing me. And
was anything else in that screen to help you play and give you tips as you were going?
Yeah, it does tell you the skill shot. It says,
Hi, Adam.
There's this thing on the skill shot that tells you, it says rev it to orange or amber and then plunge it, which is pretty obvious, but it's right there on the screen. And I think there's other things, but I didn't get to look at it too much.
So you heard that Highway announced another game tonight?
I did. Aliens, right?
Aliens, yeah, with Dennis Nordman designing it.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, man. I mean, it's weird because it's an older movie, but so is Lebowski, right? But there's a lot they can do with that, and so I'm really interested to see what they're going to do.
I'm excited. I think that's going to be a good one, and I think limiting to 500 is a good idea because they'll all sell. I mean, they're going to sell all of those.
It'll be easy for them to sell, for sure.
I think Highway has so much good going. It's just that first game, they needed a theme. They needed something, and now they have it with Alien, I think.
Yeah. I think that's going to, because I like the game, the Full Throttle. I don't know how that theme's going to really appeal to people because I don't care about motorcycle racing personally, but the theme is fun.
When you're going for the homeowners and the collectors, theme is really important.
Yeah, I think so because most of us have limited real estate, so you're like, what machines do I like that I could actually have in my house? And there's only so many.
And you know what? Everybody screams, "I want an original theme."
Yeah,
do they?
Don't.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't know that they really do. I'm starting to think that that's just not true.
I think if it was perfectly done, there could be something, but I don't know what that is, and I don't think that anybody's kind of nailed that yet.
I think Wrath of Olympus is a great original theme, and I talked to Scott on the show, which is probably already played by the now we're talking, and if everyone is so in love with the individual or unique theme like that, original theme, I feel like there would be more clamoring for that game alone, and for that matter, America's Most Haunted. But yet, The Hobbit, Aliens gets the buzz. All these things are just jumping up. And I think a lot of it's just simply based on the theme.
Yeah, and that's what's funny because people always complain, oh, it's another licensed pin and all that. But then when you get down to it, business-wise, that's what's going to draw bigger. It has the having a license is going to pull a much broader audience, and these companies can't really afford any failures. I think it's if you're small and starting out, because I love America's Most Haunted. That's such a fun game.
Absolutely.
And I'm somebody better buy it and put it on route. And I actually was telling Ben Heck that, and he's like, why don't you just buy it? And I was like, well, maybe.
Yeah. Hey, I did.
Yeah. I mean, that game is great, but I think on the bigger level, when you look at it, I don't know how it's going to do on route necessarily. I hope it does well, but I think a lot of people won't necessarily buy it just because of the theme, so they won't get that chance. But
I agree. That's a good point. So we're here in the presidential suite, not just because we're big ballers from California, but the Dutch Pinball folks have invited all their VIPs into the room for the Big Lebowski. Well, no, you're on the list. Actually, I'm faking it. I'm just here leaving leeching off of them. Barry's laughing at us. He just came into the kitchen where we're holding court here. Can I get you a drink?
No, I need a bowling ball. Pinball.
I have no pinballs. I have no pinballs. So I just snuck in, and I brought some of the top. I had 3 of the top 10 pinball players in the world with me, and then the game didn't work, and they left.
Well, we had yesterday, right?
We had some of the top 10. Though. It's working now.
Oh, it is. Okay.
It is. So people had to bail. I think people were giving other people rides and stuff. So, but it's good. So there's a bunch of people in here.
There's a ton of people in here.
There's some Stern employees in here.
That's weird.
It is a little weird.
Well, I think but I'm happy. And actually, when I walked in, Lyman was talking to Barry, and he was like telling him congratulations, and it was really cool. You could tell he was like just it was a genuine thing. The way he was talking to him.
I don't think anybody could see what Dutch Pinball's done in the last year and not congratulate them. I think you'd have to be very short-sighted not to congratulate what they're doing with this game. This game's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I thought that was cool, and I think this whole community is like that. Even though I heard people were thinking that that Phil's a little bit of a jerk for his being very
Phil is I think excited and really ready to show off his game,
and he's confident. And I think the thing that I like about what I've seen so far is that they keep delivering on what they say they're going to do, and there's no delays and anything. They just kind of say we're going to do this, and then they do it. And so far, that's been pretty impressive.
Absolutely. Did you play anything else? Anything else you saw?
Not really of the new stuff. I just, there's lines, and I was a little bit line averse, so mostly I played a lot of old stuff I hadn't played, but not any of the.
What was old that you hadn't played?
Well, like I played I didn't realize Warlock was not that common, so I played a little bit of that. I played that Star Flight a lot.
Yeah.
That thing is actually really fun, and I'm really into that kind of like era of that kind of Stern or whatever they call. I don't know the names of them, but like
those early solid state games.
Yeah, those ones. Yeah. Like Stargazer. That one was really fun. I like that one.
So what would you think like if Stern pulled a wild one and did like an old Stern title for the Vault Edition? Wouldn't that be cool?
I mean, if something that's like priced at a reasonable point to that. Yeah, I mean, if it's like 3,000-ish or something for some more basic game like that would be really sweet.
It would be cool. I don't know. Would people be into that? Are we spoiled on the DMDs?
I guess I don't know. I think there's people that say they would do it, but then when there's other shiny new stuff that's
well, they're building Whoa Nelly Big Juicy Melons.
They are,
and that's like I think that's a great sort of test to the market. Will you buy something without a DMD?
I know. I'm actually interested to see how that does. I have no idea. I feel like it's a strange business decision, but I'm kind of psyched to see them taking a risk.
I have not played it. Have you ever played it? Have you been at one of the shows?
I have played it, but I didn't actually. I feel like it wasn't even electric. Maybe there was one version. I don't know if I played a full version of what I played exactly. Gotcha. So I don't have too much experience.
How are you doing in the tournaments?
Today I basically didn't play. I played like 3 tonight right before I came up here. So I bled down a lot to my natural,
I haven't even wanted to look. I left Classics at 34th last night out of like 65. I don't even want to look now.
Yeah, there was a lot of damage done. A lot of good players got in today. I saw Sean Grant, and I saw a lot of others that I think putting up the type of numbers they put up. So I saw someone walking away with a score that I would be happy with. They're like, don't even count it.
I saw a lot of that. It makes me sick. That's all right. Well, thanks for coming on, and we're going to go check out some more Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah.
And have a good rest of your expo.
All right, thanks, Nate.
Thanks, man. See, wasn't that a lot of fun? I think that was fun. That was tiring. It was a lot of work. Because I got to tell you, being at these shows, it's easy to get caught up in everything but stopping and doing recordings. So you have to kind of force yourself. And I find that there's this sweet spot when everyone's sort of tired and worn out where they're not going to say no to me, or they're not going to give me that look of like, oh, it's the idiot with the mic. So that's what I'm always looking for. I'm looking for you to be worn down and exhausted. And then I'll come talk to you. I'm just kidding. That's episode 114 of Coast2Coast Pinball. More later, soon, tomorrow, something. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.